What was that?
I'm getting a call? Oh, someone's probably doing a call emote somewhere. We took that dead serious. They were like, wait, is that in game? Hello, Thancred, are you there?
It's me, Thancred.
Oh, good.
My turn.
You're in the simulation. We can't wake you up. You gotta get out of there.
The Sentinels are trying to cut through the hull of the...
Get out.
what was the ship
I love
in
that
Matrix
scene. The
called?
Nostromo? No, wrong property.
Nostromo is
This
alien.
is the...
Nebuchadnezzar. Also started with an N.
Yes.
Yes.
But, yes.
Yes. And, I mean, Matrix 1 is a perfect movie. Anyway, I'm hitting recording and I'm talking to Vanah.
All right.
Shall we begin our investigations then? I am acquainted with Hermes, of course, but only as a visitor received by the chief overseer of Elpis. Of the man himself, I know only that which is common knowledge. Thus, I suggest we fall back on the tried and true method of conversing with the locals. The observers who live here can surely tell us more of Hermes and Medion, and I have a good idea of where we might begin. Through this door. See you the woman standing in front of yonder building? Her name is Ismene. She is the one who made arrangements for my stay in Elpis, and from what I recall, she has held her position here for quite some time. Chances are she can provide us with some insights. Go and ask your questions. I will help with drawing out answers if need be, but I leave the choice of topic up to you.
I'm down for anything, man.
Let's do it.
You get in the car. Like, let's go. Questions for me? Well, I suppose I have no pressing duties at the moment.
The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations.
Wow.
Begin asking questions. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Did you hit yes?
I'm sorry. I'm going to go. I just got excited. Okay.
I'm going to the bathroom.
Hang on. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. No, I'm on. Yeah. I'll on auto. You go. Get your chair out. Get your chair out of there.
Hey everyone, and welcome to our Clips and Highlights channel. If you want to keep up with everything Kyle and I have going on, make sure you subscribe to the main Grinding Gear YouTube channel, which is where we actually do these streams. That's right, we stream right here on YouTube. Oh, and sub to the Grinding Gear podcast. Apple, Google, Spotify, really any podcast platform. We're probably there. Thanks.
Ismene?
So mean.
When I'm getting a little too spicy, that's what I asked Kyle. Ismene?
Is mean? Yeah.
Greetings, Ismene. My friend here is desperately curious about Chief Hermes, and I was wondering if you might indulge him. Certainly, Mistress Vanah. Anything to be of service. What do you wish to know? What kind of person is Hermes? What are Hermes' interests? I know Hermes' interests. I know. I just hung out with Hermes. What a
know
weird
what kind of person. No, wait.
order
No,
for
these
this
are
to-
great. These are great. These are great questions.
I think it's kind of weird. Like,
I want to know what are his interests.
his interests are making things and being sad.
You know, that's
Making things and being emo.
what kind of person?
That's on Hermes' Plenty of Fish profile.
Let's see what happens.
I enjoy
I'm gonna
making
go. I
things
want to know a little bit
and-
about him.
And I'm very passionate about My Chemical Romance.
Meet the first 3 things someone's into, and you'll know the person.
This is
Oh,
fun to
don't
play
squeeze
with.
that.
It's very
That's
fun to
the
play with.
release.
Yeah, but it looks like it has to go the other direction, and I couldn't. You can't get it that direction if you wanted to because of the shock. Anyway, I'm going
what
with
do you
one
need to do?
person. I'm
Are
going
you
with-
trying to
no,
rotate
No,
the
it's
mic?
fine. No,
Okay.
I'm just playing with it, man. I'm just playing with it.
So what'd you get?
Well, I can only answer from my own experience, but I would describe him as a quiet man, reserved, you might say, and occasionally somewhat poor with his choice of words.
Well, he's authority on flying. Expansive knowledge of living creatures in general. What do you wish to know?
His reticent nature, however, does not prevent him from carrying out his duties as chief overseer. The man is a walking archive when it comes to life forms. He can discuss any species in incredible detail, and is the leading authority on concepts with the power of flight. I hope that answers your questions. Was there anything else?
You got the long version. Oh,
Apparently.
okay. Hang on. I gotta catch up. He's a quiet man, reserved, you might say, occasionally somewhat poor choice of words. His luck in nature, have
Yep,
you?
we got that.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I got a little bonus.
It was just like remixed.
Yep, remix. Perfect.
I'm going with the top one because we already know Medion's abilities.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
I cannot rightly say. As the chief's personal creation, Medion has not been subjected to observation and study like other concepts. So one day, she was simply there, And what do you make of her abilities? I understand that she is a highly unusual familiar, able to read emotions and communicate directly with one's mind. Exactly how she was created with that talent, however, is a mystery to me. Sure seems like it doesn't matter what we pick, Kyle. We're getting answers on everything.
Yeah.
My apologies. I wish I could explain her nature in more depth, but I've not had occasion to discuss it with Chief Hermes.
Do you trust him?
Yeah.
Or
It's good cop, man. Unleash it.
what are you? Let's
I'm
just
doing
make sure- let's
bottom.
just
I'm
make
doing
sure-
bottom.
We're getting the whole nine, so let's just make sure we're doing the same thing. I beg your pardon? I've known Chief Hermes for many years. Though I cannot say we are close, he has never withheld information to the detriment of our duties. If that is what you mean. Forgive us. We seem to have veered slightly off course here. Is there perhaps someone else who could tell us more about Meteon? That would be Timaeus. He has a similar expertise with flying concepts, and is more than eager to discuss the subject. This is probably the weirdo who suggested wings be put on sharks. You'll find him conducting his observations on the banks of the stream, somewhere to the east. Oh, and unless you take a particular joy in rambling discourse, I suggest you keep your questions concise. We shall keep that in mind. Thank you for your patience and your insight. Think nothing of it. If there is aught else you need during your stay, please do not hesitate to ask. Come, tune in, Val. I think we've taken enough of Ismin's time.
I prefer to paint my sharks an imperial red, personally.
Oh my goodness, you've been consuming far too much Warhammer content.
Oh, she's right here. Pardon my accidental galaxy.
Report Kyle for interfering with my questing. Thank you.
It'll be over soon. There
Our
we go.
investigation is off to a fine start, wouldn't you agree? From here, I propose we split up. I shall continue making inquiries with the resident observers. If you could track down the colleague Ismin mentioned. While I did feel compelled to interject once or twice during that previous conversation, you seem more than capable of drawing forth the answers you seek. All I ask is that you watch your footing around the stream. Can we meet back here? We can meet back here once you finish speaking with this Timaeus. Good old Timmy!
Watch the footing in the stream?
Make sure we go to Tim Hortons. Get a cup of Timmy's.
What is Tim Hortons? Like a breakfast? Like
it's
Cracker
a-
Barrel?
A
Denny's?
famous Canadian gas station.
Oh, it's a gas station?
It's like, you know how people are, for some reason, really passionate about Wawa?
Yeah, they like to tell me about
It's
the Wawa.
Canadians are that way about Tim Hortons.
But Wawa's down. Now it's all about Bigs or Bucky's?
Bucky's.
Bucky's.
Yeah. We don't have one anywhere around here. You gotta go to North Florida to get to a Bucky's.
All right. Let's talk to the nerd.
All right. Yes, I am Timaeus. Timaeus. But please keep your voice down. You'll startle the birds. The following of... Yeah, we get it.
Begin investigation. Doubt.
So, what is it that you wish to speak
Uh-oh.
about?
It's going to be wacky.
I'm just going with the first option because we're getting all answers at this point.
No.
Okay,
no,
all
we
right,
got to keep
fine,
it focused.
fine.
We got to keep it
All right,
focused.
option 2.
Okay.
Chief Hermes' work? A worthy subject indeed.
We were warned about this.
Those beings which soar through the clouds, majestic and graceful, are ever a favorite of creators. Even now, with so many varieties in existence, the flood of newly imagined concepts continues unabated. What sets the Chief's creations apart, however, is how they benefit from his boundless knowledge of the celestial realm. Birds that climb so high that they disappear from view, others which traverse the boundless sky in moments, and all without riding the currents. I also liked Spider-Man 2's wingsuit. You read currents. I know of none save he who can conceive of such marvels. Even we who prize elegance of form above all else are dumbfounded by his genius. Why not mimic his promise? Medion 2 is a marvel then?
Oh, that sounds on,
Yep,
on
go
point.
with that.
Yep.
My opinion on that matter would be superficial at best. Despite my admiration for Meteon as a concept, I have never delved too deeply into the inner workings of her nature. I know that she has a gift for communicating via emotions, but otherwise, her abilities are a mystery to me. If Chief Hermes should choose to submit Meteon's concept to the Bureau of the Architect, then will the design be registered for public scrutiny. Analyzing a colleague's creation before that step is frowned upon, to say the least.
Okay.
Of course, if he came to me, a fellow artisan, looking for advice, that would be an entirely different story. You know, Dynamis and the Intellecties, or I could tell you more of Meteon's nature if you like.
No,
I am way
yeah,
more interested in that first thing!
Yep.
Dynamis and Entachilies? Those terms do sound vaguely familiar. Was there not a flower made here in Elpis which exhibited properties of one or the other? It must have been centuries since I last heard anyone speak of such things. Has there been a resurgence in interest?
Meta's changed.
No. Then why bring up the subject? I'm flattering that you sought my insight, but I cannot afford to neglect my duties for the sake of idle chatter.
Yes, you seem very busy.
Now, I really must return to my observations, which is just bird watching, let's be honest here. Surely you have your own tasks to attend to. Well, aren't you the best? Okay, apparently, Kyle, people really want us to know that Tim Hortons is not a gas station, but Canadian Dunkin' Donuts, basically.
Oh, okay. Concept car.
I hate how good of a joke that is. I really hate how good of a joke that is. Back already? That was quick work. You were obviously clever enough to head off any of that rambling as Mean mentioned. So, have you any new findings to share? I see. Even an expert in the field had little understanding of Meteon's capabilities, let alone an awareness of Dynamis. My questions resulted in much the same answers. Hermes' colleagues view Meteon as his personal subject, and could provide no details beyond those which you just told me. Which leads me to believe that the only person with any significant knowledge of Dynamis is Hermes himself. Yes, we've made some progress here, but more information is needed if we are to reach any definitive conclusions. Have some money.
All right.
Witness
Witness the spectacle.
to the spectacle.
Oh.
At present, the popping scared me. It's very
Poppy.
poppy. It's very poppy. At present, the strongest link we have to the final days is the power of Dynamis and the Entelechies that can control it. Yet most scholars are only vaguely aware of these terms, let alone study them in any depth, except for Hermes, it seems. Thus, I am inclined to stay our current course and learn all we can about the Chief Overseer and his familiar. And on that subject, was there aught else of note you can tell me about Meteon, aside from her unorthodox method of communication? A little harsh. You're more like her. She has sisters. She and her sisters were created to journey to the stars in search for intelligent life. That second one seems a little more
Yeah, a little more detail in that one.
detailed. Yeah. I rather wish you had mentioned that earlier. In any event, would you care to elaborate? That's why I chose that question. I felt it, or that
Yeah,
answer. I felt it
yeah.
elaborated enough. So these siblings of hers now travel the great expanse in search of deeper meaning? Thank you. Though the mystery at hand remains unresolved, I feel you've touched upon a vital clue, one which we should keep in mind as we continue. Next, I propose we take ourselves to Peripetia Crystalline. Not far from here. Just follow the path to the west. Path. I'll learn to talk
Oh,
eventually.
interesting. I wonder if he found himself a nice little loophole.
A loophole for what?
Well, if you don't have to submit familiars, you can make a whole army of them to work as satellites. They go out and explore the universe, and you never have to submit them for approval. So he's doing a bunch of shady crap. But because
What?
they're familiars,
What?
he's free to do so.
Oh, so familiars aren't held to the same scrutiny?
Yeah, that's what Nerd in the River was telling us about.
Oh, okay.
We avoided all his nerd.
But they still want him to submit.
Well, they think it'd be interesting if he put out.
Okay,
the,
so it's not a it's not a chiding.
but
It's an intrigue.
frowned upon. You know, it's like when someone's like, "Hey, I'm gonna play you my deck, but I just made it last night, so to go easy." Or this is a concept, or I just started this painting last night. I want broad stroke thoughts here. But otherwise, you probably shouldn't comment. You're just having fun.
Okay.
So he's saying, oh, this is just for fun, but he's invented flying sisters that are exploring the galaxy, when usually they're probably used for minor tasks like going and asking a question when you're busy. Like people have assumed we're a familiar of Azam. So most familiars are rather minor things. Is how I have put it together.
Okay. All right.
He's being shady.
All right. Sounds good.